This comparative study is created for us to learn and understand the feminism theory, the race and ethnicity theory, and to see how they were depicted in the movies Raise the Red Lantern and Wonder Woman. Feminism is a range of political movements, ideologies, and social movements that share a common goal to define, establish, and achieve political, economic, personal, and social rights for women. Critical race theory has proven race to be a construction, yet racism still remains and racial stereotypes frequently recur even in an era of post-racial cultural celebrations. Raise the Red Lantern is a Chinese movie made by director Zhang Yimou in 1991 about the harsh life of Song Lian, a well-educated teen who became the fourth wife of a wealthy man, whereas Wonder Woman is a movie directed by Patty Jenkins that was recently released in 2017 about the journey of Diana Prince on her path to become Wonder Woman. Although these two movies have different directors, styles, meanings, and plot, yet they still have the characteristics of both the feminism theory and the race and ethnicity theory in both movies. For example, characteristics of both theories were shown through the opening scene of Raise the Red Lantern and Diana's training scene. Feminism was shown through these two scenes by the way that the mother acts towards their daughters. Both of these scenes showed how Song Lian and Diana are treated as weak or fragile by their mother. However, while Hippolyta wanted to keep Diana safe, Song Lian's mother's motive is more financially driven. It also showed the difference in the way that the old Chinese people treated their daughters in contrast to the modern Westerners. We can also see the reaction of the daughters in both of the scenes where Diana is more rebellious and she doesn't want to comply with her mother, whereas Song Lian accepted her fate without putting up a fight or an argument. In order to convey this message, director Zhang Yimou put Song Lian in the middle of the screen with a medium close-up shot to allow the audience to focus on her facial expressions and the conversation between Song Lian and the mother. Similarly, director Patty Jenkins also framed her scene somewhat similar, with a medium close-up shot to focus on the dialogue and Diana's reaction towards her mother's decision, which also foreshadow future events that takes place further into the story. Both scenes showed the difference in the two cultures since the Chinese culture often features respect and compliance towards the elders' opinions, while Westerners often do what they want to and usually would disregard the advice of others. In addition, Zhang Yimou's use of the color red is symbolic since red is a symbol for power in the movie Raise the Red Lantern. The red in this scene symbolizes the power of Song Lian's mother or the powerless Song Lian that is being forced to marry. In Wonder Woman, however, director Patty Jenkins uses a cooler, more vibrant color to highlight the beautiful scenery of Themyscira in combination with the diegetic sounds of birds and ambience to show the peacefulness in order to support Hippolyta's decision to not let Diana train to become a warrior.
Are you hurt?
No, Mother, I'm fine. I was just...
Training. It seems I'm not the revered queen I should be. Disobeyed? Betrayed by my own sister?
No, Mother, it was me. I asked her to...
Take her to the palace. Off you go.
Furthermore, a multitude of shots were used to heighten the dramatic elements of the scene when Diana gets caught by her mother. However, it symbolizes the freedom that Diana has in contrast to the one medium close-up shot in Raise the Red Lantern opening scene, which symbolizes Song Lian's lack of choice and how she is trapped with no other options. The type framing in the scene also contributed to the fact that she is trapped, whereas the relatively loose framing in Wonder Woman shows the opposite, which is Diana training with her aunt without her mother's consent. The character placement and staging position in these two scenes are also important in order to convey the message efficiently. In Raise the Red Lantern, Song Lian was placed in the center of the frame in a full front position to emphasize the importance of Song Lian in the movie and also allow the viewers to sympathize with her. In contrast, director Patty Jenkins placed Diana near the bottom of the frame and her mother at the top in a quarter turn position to show the difference in their powers with less emotional involvement than the scene from Raise the Red Lantern. Although the use of mise-en-scène in the two scenes are different in many ways, the message that they convey, which is the way that the mother treats their daughter as inferior in two different cultures, still remains the same. Another two scenes in these two movies that contain the characteristics of the two theories are the scenes where Song Lian receives new clothing as she arrives at the mansion in Raise the Red Lantern, and the dress shopping scene in Wonder Woman. In these two scenes, the two women, Song Lian and Diana, were confined from wearing their usual clothing in order to fit in with everyone else. This clearly shows how women were suppressed and forced to wear clothing that are acceptable to the people around them and not what they want to wear. However, while Diana gets to choose what she wants to wear despite being forced to change outfits, Song Lian was forced to wear a more luxurious outfit than her original clothing because she is now a part of a wealthy family and therefore she can no longer wear cheap-looking clothes. Director Zhang Yimou chose to frame the scene with a medium close-up and an extreme long shot, both in an eye-level shot to clearly show the sadness in Song Lian's face and to indicate that the scene is not highly dramatic. Similarly, the dress shopping scene in Wonder Woman also used these mise-en-scène elements to indicate that there is no dramatic elements to the scene and also to show Diana's reaction to the outside world. In addition, the horizontal composition of the scene suggests placidity and peacefulness when combined with the non-diegetic background music.
It's itchy. It's choking me. Can't say I blame it.
Etta, where's she?
Oh, she's trying on outfit number 226.
Miss Candy, the whole point was to make her look less distracting.
The scene in Raise the Red Lantern, however, has a diagonal composition which suggests the anxiety that Song Lian is having, and it's also shown through her facial and body expression as well. The main color in the scene seems to be the color brown, which symbolizes home, since the mansion is now Song Lian's new home. The color in the dress shopping scene is also brown. However, it symbolizes elegance or the beauty of their surroundings rather than home, since Diana is now away from home and is in a brand new world. These elements work together to show the difference in fashion of the two cultures as well as their traditions and customs, in which Song Lian was confined to this specific piece of clothing, whereas Diana gets to choose whatever she wants to wear instead. This was shown through the tight framing in the scene from Raise the Red Lantern in contrast to the moderately loose framing in Wonder Woman. In conclusion, the use of mise-en-scène in both movies are very different from each other, yet they still manage to convey a somewhat similar message about feminism as well as race and ethnicity. The aspects of feminism theory was shown through the way that the protagonists were treated as powerless by other people, such as Diana's mother or Song Lian's mother. It also indicates the difference between the two races and cultures through their choice of fashion as well as traditions and customs.